Hello, this is Nicole Whitlock with the eCom Sellers Podcast. And I have with me my awesome, my amazing co-host, co-anchor on this journey.
Kelly's eCom mom ward. I'm sorry, my brain's still fuzzy from losing that hour of sleep. How that.
Oh, who are you telling? I know that feeling. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we were off this morning. We definitely arrived at church late. And yeah, it is really weird right now because, you know.
I'm in the choir. I had to be there on time. You can't sneak into the choir loft.
I think it's going to take all of us probably about 2 weeks to get used to losing that hour. And again, at some point, they have to decide that they're going to pass legislation that the daylight savings is no longer necessary. If you do your research on why we do it, it doesn't make any sense anymore. But anyway, so Kelly and I are part of the Ecom Sellers Podcast, and we come to you every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we talk about e-commerce news, tips, and more. And we hope to be a blessing to you in your e-commerce journey. So if you'll just share this video out, invite a friend to come check us out, and join us on the ride as we talk about e-commerce news, tips, and more. Come back next Monday at 8:30 p.m. where we'll give you some more news and information and let you know what's going on and give you some more e-commerce tips. So with that being said, I am going to let Kelly have the floor. She's going to go ahead and kick off the latest in e-commerce news, and then I'll jump in at the end. So the floor is yours, Kelly.
All right. There's been some buzzing going around. Of course, we know what everything going on in Ukraine. A lot of the platforms are providing assistance for any sellers that are in Ukraine. eBay has stated that they're going to waive fees for sellers in Ukraine, and they're facilitating donations to support a Ukraine relief aid from buyers and the sellers on its platform. So, they're making steps to, make sure to support, the sellers over there. They're starting to allow wire transfers for certain types of goods, mainly high ASP goods, average sale price goods. Like a $20,000 engagement ring and such. So they're gonna allow wire transfers, and then eventually they're gonna add in more ways to pay for items coming down the line. So keep an ear out for that. I don't know if they're gonna start accepting Bitcoin and Doji, whatever. I don't know, all that imaginary money, I think it's called. It's like, if I can't see it in my hand, I don't know if I really. That's just my. I know a lot of people probably making lots of money on that stuff, but I don't know about that cyber stuff. And then eBay stores will be easier to find. They're making it easier for you to, kind of brand yourself on eBay, even though, eBay is a platform, but you have your own little store, and like you can make logos and stuff to put in your little picture area. You can go, I went on Canva and made myself a logo for my store, and then you can put banners on there. I did the same for my Etsy store. You want to make sure that you get eye-catching for your stores and shops online. And another good thing is try to keep the names the same if you can, so that well, sometimes I know you go to one place and someone else has already gotten a name to your, the same name of your store. So you might have to change it a little bit, but keeping that same name makes it easier for your customers to find you on all the platforms. On to other news. Amazon's going to be raising fees for fulfilling sellers off Amazon orders. So that's like if you want to sell something, say you have, the e-store at at the FBA warehouse, and you go ahead and you also put it up on eBay, and just when it sells, you go to your Amazon back office and have it shipped to your customer on eBay. The fees for that is going up. They sent out an email explaining all how much is going up. It depends on how big of an item it is to the increase of the fee. Some of it's just a little 6 cent fee difference, and other places it's $1 or two different. So you need to look at that and see if you need to make adjustments on your prices on your other platforms to cover those fees. Amazon's also looking into make Prime more appealing for Canadian residents, because the residents in Canada. See, I told you that 1 hour sleep just messes you up. So the residents in Canada have right now have to have a $25 minimum purchase requirement to get the Prime shipping. They're going to remove that. Just like in the United States now, you could buy something on Prime that's $9 and it's there the next day. So they're taking away that $25 minimum purchase requirement. The board and Amazon has also approved a stock split and share buybacks. So if you're into the stocks and you have Amazon stocks, you might be seeing some good dividends from that. I'm not sure. Last time I messed with any kind of stocks was back in economics in high school. Not my thing. Etsy has published a new guide to help sellers understand the intellectual properties issues they might be having, because a lot of them are, if they're like making their own items or making selling t-shirts and stuff on there, and then they try to put Disney stuff on there, that will get yanked down so quick. So they have to understand that you can't just start ripping off big companies like Disney or Super Mario Brothers or something. You can't do that, even though they're like, but that other store does it. You got they might went through the right way and got the okay to be able to do that, and you can't just do that. Mercari announced that they have a vacation mode for sellers now. So this, right, we got spring break going on here, but other places might have spring break in the next couple of weeks. And now you're able to put your Mercari store on vacation mode. You just go to your account settings, and there's a little thing that says vacation, and you can put your start date, end date, and you won't be able to it's like your stuff will be taken down, and you won't have to, you won't get any new orders, and you won't have to try to, be 12 hours away from your house, and you get order, you're like, I can't ship it, within my 3 days. So it's a good thing for sellers that be able to have that vacation. And the post office, there's a big postal reform passed, finally, a bipartisan deal. One of the big things is one of the things that made the post office such a costly thing is the pension for the workers and the health care. So they're going to start rolling those workers' health care into the Medicare once they get older, and they get old enough to be qualified for Medicare. Then they'll be rolled into the Medicare instead of the post office health coverage, which is a big chunk of change, I think. So
see, we're getting to that place where all the stuff we used to do in the 70s and the 80s and early 90s with pensions and stuff like that, all of that stuff is like, they're probably one of the last ones to get rid of pensions outside of unions. Like, okay, so no, there's all of the other companies, they started getting rid of pensions in the 90s. Yeah. So hopefully, that's going to help with prices, but that's also going to impact those people. There's the guy that wrote The Millionaire Next Door. I feel like I got to go back and read the book again, but I feel like he worked for the post office. So of course, they got this money that's going into their account, so they will have money to live off for the rest of their lives. Yeah.
Yeah. My dad, he worked for Exxon for 40 years, 40 plus years. And, so he had a nice pension, And nowadays, that's like I see people, they changing their jobs every 2 or 3 years. I'm like, how do you build anything?
Yeah, it's very different these days. You're definitely going to have to invest a bunch of money on the side, because what you used to be able to get and what you relied on for your social security is not what it's going to be. I am in that space, gray hair and all, where where we're doing that whole research and evaluation, trying to figure out my everything that I need to solidify for Nicholas, because last year was definitely a close call. I had a bunch of stuff in place, but I didn't have enough in place and things weren't solidified. There were a few things that weren't solidified, and so now I'm going back and doing that whole reevaluation of the reevaluation, because I think I did all this stuff way back when he was maybe 2 years old. And yeah. I will say, having a pension, for those people who got them, congratulations. And but those who don't, yeah, you should be putting money aside. Otherwise, you're gonna be working all the way up to 80. So it's crazy.
Some people might want to do that, but
But some people might. Some people might. Oh well. I was gonna say something. You were talking about the Etsy and all of that, and so I piggyback off of what Kelly said about, you got to make sure you know what you can and cannot sell on some of these platforms. And you can't get yourself in trouble with trademark, because there's a lot of companies that are coming after people because they've seen a boatload of trademark infringement. And as a matter of fact, I think in our last eCom Sellers podcast, I think the number was, I can't remember, it was some ridiculous number of those sellers that are selling on Amazon that were from China, that they kicked off of the platform, like some crazy number, like 3 million of them, because of the fact that they were selling counterfeits, they were copyright infringements, they were all kinds, like, so you want to go through the exercise. If you do have a product, protect your product, go do the copyright, go do all of the things that are necessary to protect your product so that people don't steal your idea. And even if they do steal your idea, you'll have some level of recourse, maybe, fingers crossed, with the trademark office. It just depends. There's some stories out there where people did all the right stuff and they still didn't win, but that's the rarity and not the norm. So do the right thing, guys, and don't get yourselves in trouble. Go through the exercise of getting approval, not only with the platform, but also getting authorized to be able, if you're doing unique things, get authorized to be able to sell those particular products or use the imaging, whatever. So anyway, go ahead.
that's all the news. That was it. That was
Okay. All right. Well, I have a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. A couple of pieces of information. I was actually out and about earlier today at the Dollar Tree with my kiddos. So I have been getting out and about a little bit more lately these days.
the $1.25 tree now.
$1.25 tree, yes. Well, it's still called the Dollar Tree. They didn't officially rename the store, so it's still called the Dollar Tree. But I've been getting out and about, so we're going to go back to doing some lives, and hopefully that will, for those people that are interested. Sorry, the video took off on its own, because I always pull up the news. So we hopefully, for those of you that are interested in seeing some of that, you'll be able to catch us on the live, and you can ask us questions real time. If you got questions, we'd be happy to answer them. But we're going to go into the stores and do some retail arbitrage and all that fun stuff. So, all right. So with that being said, I'm going to share my screen. And we are going to look at the news. So look for that. We're also, put it down on your calendar, the second Saturday of April. We're actually going to do a live shop and learn here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It'll be myself. Hopefully Tony Mitchell will join us. We're going to pick a different store probably every month. In the past, we've kind of stayed in one central area that works for both me and Tony. And then invited people to that area. And so we kind of met there, and then we went to the store to do the retail arbitrage training. But I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to meet up at the different stores, probably talk or in a restaurant that's nearby for for a few seconds, and then we're going to go into the store and get after it. So some of them that we're going to hit up is we're going to hit up the Ollie's. We're going to hit up two different Ollie's. We're definitely going to hit up some Dollar Tree, some 99-cent stores. One of my favorite stores, Big Lots. We're going to hit up a few different stores. And then we may actually go down to, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we have what's called the Warehouse District. We may go down to the Warehouse District and check out some of those. And we might even visit a liquidation center. We have a few different liquidation suppliers here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So we may actually get approval to, shoot some video there as well. And this year we're going to work to go to one of the Amazon warehouses. They do have the tours. And so we have 4 in the Metroplex. I think there's 4. There might be 5 in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. And so we're going to actually work on a tour of the Amazon warehouse. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, we invite you to come hang out with us. I think it'll be a great time had by all. We're also going to go to the Dallas Market Center at least twice this year as a group. If you want to go individually, if I happen to be going, one of the times that I like to go is the first Monday and Tuesday of the month, where they let you do cash and carry. And so in the Dallas Market Center, it is like 15, 16 floors going up of wholesale suppliers where you can, it's not, well, I mean, it's not quite like ASD, but it's a lot of suppliers that are available to be able to order your inventory, get inventory, negotiate rates, and all that other stuff. So they have showrooms and things like that. So if you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, you're more than welcome to come hang out with us. Maybe we'll sweet talk Kelly and get her to do a road trip. I doubt it, but we'll see if Kelly can make it. And, invite you all to come hang out with us and check out what we do here. All right, so here's the latest and greatest in the news. I have probably about 5 windows open for the news. So there's more news than this. One, I just want to put a little tickler in your ear. We are guessing maybe that Prime Day is probably going to be sometime in July. That's the guess. It's probably going to be the middle of July. Amazon has not announced when Prime Day is going to happen, but they did send some emails out reminding people to, that they need to have their inventory in, I think by the end of June or the second to the last week of June or something like that. So that's a hint. Heads up. So if you're getting your inventory from somewhere else overseas, this is that window right now, today. You need to drop what you're doing and start placing your order for Prime Day so that your inventory arrives in the U.S. in time for you to be able to ship it over to Amazon, or whatever you need to do with your wholesale suppliers, negotiate, whatever that happens to be. Prime Day is coming, so just a heads up on that. But we don't know when. Amazon has not made an official announcement. The guess is probably, in the past, it had been historically around the second week in July, the second Monday or Tuesday of July. Tuesday, I think, was when it was Tuesday. So the guess is that it's probably going to be somewhere close to that, outside of the weird year for the pandemic, which was October. So mental note, I know I'm showing my screen about a Twitter e-commerce, but I need you to hear what I'm saying. Go order your inventory for Prime Day, so it's here in time. Or put together your plan for Prime Day so that you're ready to go. All right. So with that being said, this was in TechCrunch. Twitter expands their e-commerce efforts with the launch of the mobile storefronts, Twitter shops. So now you got Facebook shops, you got Instagram shops, now you got Twitter shops, you got Pinterest doing some stuff. They got they're doing a whole facelift over there on Pinterest. So hopefully next week I'll pull together some more news about what's happening on Pinterest. But Twitter shops, I think people have done different levels of analysis on whether or not they can make money on Twitter. But here's the deal. People are clearly buying off of Instagram. They're clearly buying off of TikTok. They are buying off of Facebook shops. So Twitter shops is just another opportunity. And Twitter will allow you, I know there's a bunch of people that go live with Their stores, they're selling like live, like their home shopping network version of what they do. And so Twitter, even though they got rid of Periscope, they do have like a live broadcasting option. So again, go back and look at that. Um, that I feel like that is an opportunity. So with that being said, yeah, Twitter expands to Twitter shops. The next one is so this is an older article, and this is where I was talking about the counterfeit and products that get destroyed because of the fact that there is a trademark for it, and so customs is seizing that. So we know that there was a slowdown because of the pandemic, and then when inventory started coming across, there was a bunch of stuff that happened. This is an article from Business Insider. I would encourage you to go watch this session. Actually, it was quite insightful. The information that they shared about the number of counterfeit goods that they seized. They say it's over, this industry, huge counterfeit industry worth over $1 trillion. Okay. I thought that was very, very interesting. But go check out. This is on Business Insider. This is from September. And again, the video and the article is really interesting to read and to see, and all of the stuff that they're going through and the different packages that they open, and then the number of sellers that have just like gotten kicked off of Amazon because they just keep shipping over and over and over again. Well, they get kicked off of different platforms, but China definitely is sending over a boatload of counterfeit products. So go check this out. This was from September. I don't know how I happened across it, September the 20th of 2021. I happened across it somehow, and I was like, whoa, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so many of the sites now have like authentications. Like eBay has
Yep.
authentications for sneakers over $100 and
Yep.
for purses and such.
Yeah. So watch this session, do a search on Business Insider, and do a search on counterfeit products and goods, JFK, those things that are destroyed. And this was, again, in 2021. So it was from September 20th of 2021. Pretty insightful. It gives you a different perspective as well. And so this is, again, me encouraging you to protect your intellectual property at all costs. If you're selling something, you're creating something, you're making something, go get it trademarked. Again, they can't sometimes, if like China, what they found was in watching this video, was, because I stopped it, I paused the video here, but anyway, what they found was that some of the counterfeits were actually the same manufacturer of the product itself. So in other words, the manufacturer is making the real product, and then another within their same facility, another area is making a counterfeit version of it that's slightly different. So they're getting both pieces of the business. They're getting the business from the seller who gave them the work to manufacture their custom product, and they are making a counterfeit version of their customer's product and shipping it in to be sold in the US. And the sad reality is that some of these counterfeits are actually funding wars. Like, I did not realize this. If you go back, like I said, and watch this session, they actually talk about like counterfeit CDs or something like that, or DVDs funded parts of the war with the Taliban and ISIS. I was like, what? So when you're buying a fake Louis Vuitton, or you're buying fake whatever Nikes, just know that you're potentially funding something that you don't even realize. So go check this out. They were talking about some of the makeup that was counterfeit that had cyanide in it and lead. It's actually destroyed some people's faces because of the fact that they made a counterfeit version of that. So I just was like, go watch this session. It's probably about 15 minutes long, maybe 20. And again, you can go and look for it in Business Insider from September the 20th of 2021. Very interesting session to watch. So go check it out. The next this is from CNN News. I have no idea why I have this big giant block up here, but whatever. There we go. So Kohl's says it's no longer a department store? Question mark. So this is, this is from CNN Business. Yeah, this is from CNN Business. And I think it's just a classification in essence, uh, for, for their stockholders and things like that. But yeah, stiff competition from Amazon. They're saying that they're no longer a department store. I thought that was really interesting. So CNN Business, this came out on March the 8th. You might want to just come check it out. I know that we have done a lot of retail arbitrage from Kohl's and sold products, that we've gotten. We use Kohl's Cash to get it at a discounted price and then go around and flip it on another platform. So it's just really interesting to check out this article. So go check it out. And I don't know, market reaction to them saying this and deciding what they want to do. They have been losing money. So again, this is a business decision. So go check it out. It is CNN Business. All right. This one is MSN, CNBC. I was going to say MSNBC, CNBC. Okay. And this article, Amazon acquires Viquo, whatever, a startup business that helps sellers manage their online businesses. So Amazon is always wanting to get a piece of the pie, no matter what you're doing. If you guys don't know, they have like Amazon, what is it? Like the servers, I forget is it Amazon, not W, is it WS, AWS? I think it's AWS.
AWS, yeah.
Yeah, where we're talking about all the servers that things run on. So if you remember, what was the name of that company that got taken down because of the Capitol riots on January the 6th? So they were shut down by Amazon because they were hosting on Amazon servers. Okay. I can't remember the name. But anyway, so Amazon is jumping into the fray, and they are literally going to be maybe opening up their warehouses to be able to take on more work for people who don't even sell on Amazon. I mean, they clearly have mastered the art of the warehouse storage. Okay. They have. And so if they master the art of the warehouse storage, it makes sense to do this. On the flip side, we know that Shopify, who also has a service on the back end, they were shutting down several or reducing the number of warehouse service centers that were going to be part of their back end service. So for some people who don't know, if you sell on Shopify, if you could send your products to a Shopify warehouse and let them ship it to your customer directly. Some people didn't know that. And so they've reduced that network. I think we announced that news probably about 4 weeks ago, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago. And so this is maybe in direct contrast to that, because people may be selling on eBay, Etsy, or Shopify or Walmart. And so now their inventory may be coming out of an Amazon owned warehouse. So interesting article, CNBC. Go check it out. Go read it for yourself. This is from March the 8th. So yeah, it's like, interesting. All right. I think that's it. That's all I had. I think I was looking for something else over here. So with that being said,
I just remembered one more thing.
Oh, what?
Quick thing. They're doing some kind of like mail returns or like package returns with like FedEx, through FedEx and UPS and such. And then we'll have DoorDash drivers come to your house to pick up these packages that you want to return, and I guess take to the FedEx store or wherever. I remember reading that.
Didn't we have, I thought that there was something already in place for something similar to that. We announced that, I feel like it was about may have been 2 months ago. So
Mercari has Mercari Local, which uses Uber drivers.
Okay.
To do local deliveries, but this is DoorDash drivers are supposed to be picking up like items you want to return to Amazon or whatever, and taking it to the yeah.
Interesting. DoorDash returns. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. I'm going to have to look at it. So this is FedEx returns or Amazon returns?
Yeah.
Something like that. We'll see. We'll see if we can find it. Wants to return your packages for you. Look at that. Testing a feature. That was, it lets you return packages. Very, very interesting. So that's also on TechCrunch, along with QZ. I don't know what QZ is, so I know what TechCrunch is. So yeah, that's actually a good article to. Hmm. So there you go. That's one more opportunity not to have to leave your house if you don't want to. They're beta testing it. So hey, there you go. Hmm. I wonder. I'm interested to see how much this costs to do this. Because I mean, the number of returns have gone up exponentially. So now they're making it easier to continue to return. I'm telling you, this is the year of the liquidation. So we're going to definitely have to go to one of these liquidation, you know, um, distribution centers here in the Dallas Fort Worth area and record from there, or at least interview somebody just so we can see what's up. And because their inventory has gone up like a whole bunch, like fourfold. It's ridiculous. If not three to fourfold, like it's crazy. So, all right. So I hope this information was helpful. Again, we do the e-commerce news, tips, and more. We try to give you a reference on where you can get this information. So we don't just cover one platform. We try to cover all platforms. So it doesn't matter to us if you're selling on Amazon, eBay, Etsy, Walmart, Shopify. We don't care. We are here to share what we have discovered is happening in the e-commerce space. So hopefully this information is helpful to you. Make sure that you share this information out and come back and hang out with us in the next Ecom Sellers podcast. So let's go ahead and transition to tips at this point. Got to go up to the top and share my screen. So we are covering today, we're covering 5 tips for taking product photos. So this is just high level. We're not getting into the weeds about it. If you want more details, we are happy to share that information. But again, this is high level. So with that being said, I'm going to let Kelly have number 1.
All right, using your camera phone or a camera, whatever works best. I mean, the cameras on the phones nowadays, they are not bad. They are really good cameras. I use my phone personally to list. I take my pictures on my phone and just put them right into my eBay, the eBay app, and I can upload my pictures that way into my eBay listings, and then I can just take my eBay listing and share it out, and I never have to download my pictures onto my computer, and it just goes straight to my eBay app right there. I can, some people like to go old fashioned and use the camera, but
I love that. I absolutely love using the phone. I have tested a couple of different phones. So I've tested the iPhone, an LG, a Samsung, because I clearly have 4 phones. We know that's a running joke, but I do have 4 phones. And so I've tested on all of those phones in different versions, newer versions, older versions. And I have to say, for me, the iPhone really does take some of the best pictures. They really are really good. Okay. Some of those other phones have good phone qualities, and maybe I'm not buying the $2,000 phone. I'm maybe buying the $500 phone or the $600, $700 phone, or even the $200 phone. But the point is that I feel like the iPhone, it really takes the best picture of all of them. So, like Kelly said,
I can't tell you, I've never had an iPhone.
Oh, what do you use? Samsung?
Samsung team. Well, I've had for a while. I had one of those Microsoft Windows phones, like a long time ago. That was like 5 years ago. But since then, it's pretty much been Androids. Right now, I have Samsung. I have so we are team Android over at our house.
I am an Android lover too, for the most part. But when it comes to pictures, like I can't. Nothing has beat the iPhone. I had for Samsung. I've bought 2 different Samsungs. One's a cheap one a little more expensive one, and it still doesn't beat the iPhone. Even if it's the older model iPhone. Like I had an iPhone 6 taking pictures. Like, okay, this is crazy. And then I got an LG. I spent a little bit of money on that LG, and I still was like, what? I get quality. So again, maybe I suck at the whole, it needs to be this pixels and blah blah blah, because they talk about all these other features, and I'm like, look, I just need a phone that can take pictures. That's my level of ignorance. That's what I roll with. I just need a phone that takes pictures, and whatever happens happens. So it is sort of funny because I don't know enough about all of the features of the phone. I can just say, with my level of ignorance being high, the iPhone takes the best pictures for me. So even the old ones. And I do have an iPhone 6 in my drawer. So all right, the next one is your product image should take up the majority of the image space. So when you're taking a picture, you want to make sure you want to get a close up of whatever it is that you're taking a picture of. Whether it's used items or new items, you want to get as close up as possible and make sure that it's majority of the space. If you are taking a picture and your item happens to be in the center and it's super tiny, that means that somebody has to use their pinchy fingers to even look at your image when it comes up. It's going to definitely impact your sales, because if people have to squint to see what the product is, they're not going to be interested in it. So if you pull up, like, the way that you can tell whether or not you feel like you have decent pictures for your particular product, pull up similar products on different platforms and see what those images look like. So let's say that you are selling, I don't know, coffee mugs. So go over to Etsy, go over to Amazon, go over to eBay and pull up a few pictures of coffee mugs and look at those, and then look at yours. If yours is really tiny, and yeah, then it's not going to work out for you. You need to take new pictures and take a better picture of it, get a close up. You want people to be interested in it just by visually seeing it, because we're sensory creatures. We're sensory creatures that's based on what we see, smell, taste, taste, feel, whatever. And so we're visually stimulated when it comes to the phone. That's a fact. We're actually addicted to our phones. So so it has to work. The image has to take up the majority of the picture. So anything you want to add to that, Kelly?
Um, if that's good for like your main picture, but if you need to like do a size comparison, like you need to put, you know, uh, a quarter next to something to show how big it is compared to a quarter. That's all right for like one of your later pictures, but make sure that your main picture is the majority. That your item is the majority of the picture, and don't put extra stuff in there to that really hides the item.
Right. Or doesn't showcase it well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Next.
Image color should pop. Okay. So if you have something that's pretty much all white and you try to do all white background, it's not gonna it's gonna be hidden in that white. So like I use a black poster board, and if I'm like having, let's say, have a coffee mug that's pretty much all white, I have the black poster board behind, as my background, and that really that white pops against that black, so people can see it better than someone else who has the same white coffee mug, but they have a white background. It makes it a little harder for us to see it. We like to see that big difference in the with the background. So just like black item, put it against the white background, or just see what makes that item, that background, color pops. Even though they say you have the white background for Google and everything, but I've sold plenty of items with using the black background for a white object.
Yeah, I think the white background applies with an asterisk. I think there's something to, and we're going to talk about it, not right now, but there's some scenarios where the white background doesn't make sense, and this is one of those that Kelly is describing, where it doesn't make sense. But the other thing I would say is that the colors need to pop. If your colors are dull, so let's say you're selling something. I'm trying to think of something that was really bright. So trolls, that fuchsia, hot pink, whatever you want to call it. is a bright, bold, standout color. And everything that Poppy wears, which is one of the characters from Trolls, is bold and bright and colorful. And so if you're taking pictures and your pictures are kind of gray and shaded or they are dull and they don't really pop, there's a high probability that those that have a picture that pops really well off the phone, that they will probably get the sell over your particular item unless your item is super, super hot and they don't care what the image looks like. It's the exact thing that they're looking for. So if you're trying to sell, again, Pete, we are visual creatures. We're stimulated visually. Definitely make sure that your colors pop if it is something that is brightly colored anyway. All right. Take your photos in a well-lit room or use a ring light where it makes sense. So, there's a lot of things that you could potentially be selling, different things, and you may need to put it on a white background or a black background. But when you take that picture, it needs to, again, there needs to be enough light to where it doesn't look dull or hazy or gray or fuzzy. Like if it is, makes it, you have to squint to see it, or it kind of makes it look unattractive. If you put some light on it, it actually may make it look a little more attractive. People might be more interested in it because of the fact that you're taking the pictures in a well lit room. So if you don't have a really well lit room in your house that you feel like, the bathroom, most of the time, bathrooms are fairly well lit. And I have taken pictures of products in the bathroom before because there's something about the lighting in the bathroom. So if you don't have good lighting, like you don't have a well lit room where you got a big picture window or anything, that's always an option. Or get a ring light. You can get the small one. I have 3 different sizes. Technically, I have 4 different sizes of the ring light. So I have a small, which is the little clip on, and then I have I have 2 smalls. One that's also, I have 2 clip ons. One that clips on the laptop, and then one that clips on a board so that I can reflect off of it. I have a medium-sized ring light, which I feel like it's a 10 or 12. And then I have the big one, big giant ring light. So depending on what I need to do, I got different ring lights to address whatever I'm getting ready to take a picture of. Go ahead, Kelly.
I was like, to help with your lighting, make sure you're using like a daylight light bulb, not something that's going to cast like a yellow hue. Some of those light bulbs, the soft white and the soft yellow or whatever, cast like a yellow hue, so your white items look yellow. So
yeah, and then they look dingy.
yeah,
They look dingy at that point. Yeah.
and watch your shadows too.
Watch your shadows and your reflections, especially when you're using a ring light. If the thing is in plastic. Okay, so I can't give away everything, but there's some other tips that we want to add. So yeah, watch your shadows when you're using the ring lights. For sure. All right, go ahead, Kelly.
White background, asterisk, like we already kind of talked about this, but the white background, or if you need to, a black background, you want to make sure it's not a cluttered background. It's not, you're putting it on the table and you can see someone's half eaten dinner or another back of the picture or something, or yeah. you don't know. I've seen some bad pictures online. I mean, it's like someone just they're in their office and you can see boxes of stuff and they're just holding up the item and taking the picture, and it's like, that's not a good way to try to sell your item. I know it's a quick way to get the picture done, but tries to put a little effort there. My goodness. But a white background, hang up. I do clothes, so I use hangers. I have a dress form over here I use for some stuff, to really present that item. So yeah, I'm talking about white background. And we'll go into how to make that white background look professional.
Yes.
Other ways,
Yes.
but just make sure that you're not cluttered backgrounds. And I know people on other sites like Poshmark and stuff, they really want your fancy. They want they have these furry rugs, and they have their shirt that you're selling with, and then they put some shoes and flowers and all sorts of seashells or whatnot. Some places, some sites that you want to dress it up like that, and some Etsy, wants you to kind of dress up your stuff. So you have to learn each platform how they, what your sellers want what catches your sellers' eyes.
Absolutely. So I have restrained myself from going into the many tips that we wanted to share. So we stripped it down to the 5, but trust me, there are some techniques and strategies that can help you get more eyeballs on your listings, help you get more sales on your products, and help you to get more traction in your business if you're not getting the traction that you want. So if you want to learn how to create better product photos, how to develop better product photos, how to stage your products better, what things you can do to get better backgrounds, what background you should have for different types of photos. And okay, I won't go into the weeds because there's so much to talk about. But I would encourage you to sign up for our upcoming product photos workshop. It is starting tomorrow, and it runs for 2 Tuesdays. So until March 22nd, 2. And it is at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're already an eCom Sellers Academy member, we'll go through it in the group. And we have a private Facebook group, and then it will be uploaded to the membership site. But if you are not an eCom Sellers Academy member, then you can, go and sign up directly at https://bit.ly ESA, which stands for eCom Sellers Academy. Photos work. And so you can go to bit.ly/ESA photos work. And we would happy to be able to add you to be able to sign up for this workshop. Bring your stuff, bring your questions. We're talking about everything from private label products to bundles, everything that is photo related. We're talking all photo related stuff. So nothing is off the table. This is one of my passions. I love doing bundles, and taking photos is my jam. So sign up for this workshop if you're wanting to create product photos for your bundles. If you want to learn how to make virtual product photos, in other words, you don't have the physical item in front of you, but you want to learn how to create it. If you want to learn how to get the white background or clear background so you can superimpose the image somewhere, like, this is the stuff I love to do. If you want to put the instructional words on an image, again, some of the stuff that you see on Amazon and some of the other platforms that provides information about either the contents of this particular product or instructions on how to use it or its purpose, come to this session. We're going to be talking about all of this. So again, if you're an Academy member, it's absolutely free for you. If you're not an Academy member, then you need to go to bit.ly/ESA, all capital, must be typed this way, so you can't use lowercase. So capital ESA, capital on photos, and then capital on work. Come join us. I love talking about this. I would try to slow down because I really want to talk about all the stuff that we've seen. I know Kelly's seen a whole bunch of stuff too, to help you to create better product photos and to get more eyeballs on your products. And then some of the other things that you can do to get more organic traffic on your listings as well. And you can do that with your photos. All right. Is there anything else you want to add to that, Kelly?
No, but just learning how to do that can really increase your business, because having more professional looking listing will help draw people to your listing
and your store too.
Yeah.
All right. So if you're struggling to be more consistent in your business, you're struggling to focus, you're struggling to do some of the things that are going to actually move the needle in your business and to help you to get more sales or get to your goal number for the year. Maybe this is the year you're trying to get to 6 figures or whatever, or 7 figures. Then I want to encourage you to join us for our daily ecom planning session, where we are actually talking about some of the things you need to do to move the needle in your business. We have a Facebook group called E-commerce Planning. We invite you to join the e-commerce planning Facebook group. And we go through the daily exercise, 15 minutes, Monday through Saturday. We do a weekly planning session on Saturday at 7 a.m. and Monday through Friday is at 7 a.m. This is going to be a struggle week. Next week will be a struggle week too, because we lost an hour. So it'll be 6 o'clock. It'll feel like 6 o'clock for us, but it'll really be 7 o'clock. And then at the end of the month, we do a monthly planning session. And that monthly planning session is going to be on March the 27th. So we got a couple of weeks. But if you're wanting to really change what's happening in your business for the month of April, definitely come to the monthly planning session. So the monthly planning session builds onto the weekly planning session, which builds onto the daily. So everything that you do in your daily has already been vetted, researched, and analyzed in the reverse. You work through it on your weekly planning and you built it out from your monthly planning. So I encourage you to come to those sessions if you're looking to really kind of scale your business in 2022. This is your year. There's an opportunity to do it in the midst of this inflation, in the midst of any of the interesting stuff that's happening with shipping. Is still an opportunity for you to get to those goal numbers. So join us. And if you haven't gotten your e-commerce planner, we want to invite you to go grab one. You can go to www.myecomplanner.com right now to go buy your planner. We do reference the planner in our sessions, but again, if you've got a planner, that's fine. Just want to give you a heads up that the digital planner is coming out this week. So it'll be available on the 15th. And I'm excited about the digital planner. So if you don't want to get the physical planner, you can get the digital planner, and it is at a lower price than the physical planner, of course. So you can grab that one if you want to, and you can follow us along on the digital planner. Okay. So it is fillable, and you can use it with, I think, GoodNote and OneNote, and I forget all the note things. It might be even Evernote. I can't remember all of them, but anyway, you can upload them and use them from your digital device. So your iPad, your other things, you'll be able to actually fill it in. And then last but not least, if you are not an Academy member, I encourage you to join, because then you can go to all the weekly workshops absolutely free. It doesn't cost you any money. You can sign up for the lifetime eCom Sellers Academy membership. And today you can continue to get the 25% off. We haven't taken it down yet. And if you sign up for the lifetime, you get a free e-commerce planner. Like you get the free physical one, not the digital, but you get the free physical one. So if you want a free physical planner, if you want to sign up for all of our workshops and be able to attend any of them throughout the year, you can go ahead and sign up for the lifetime membership, and you can take 25% off of that price and still get an e-commerce planner. So I don't know. That's like the deal of the century. I don't know why you wouldn't do it. But go to www.ecomsellersacademy.com, type in 25 OFFESA, and get 25% off of the lifetime. All right. So let me get back over here where Miss Kelly is. And all right. I think that was everything. I'm sure there's more that we're going to be covering, but for now, we're going to say that's it. So my name is Nicole Whitlock. This is the eCom Sellers Podcast. We do this every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we talk about e-commerce news, tips, and more. We invite you to come and hang out with us and learn from us and share this information out to other people. My name is Nicole Whitlock.
I'm Kelly, the eCom Mom Ward.
All right. And we hope to see you next week, same time, 8:30. We're going to say goodbye for now.